We're live. My name's Alex, American in Leeds. On this beautiful Sunday evening here on the East Coast, the sun is setting. Imagine there, it's dark across the pond, and a perfect day. We take all 3 points, and then the top three around and then around us all drop points. We'll get into that later. I just thought it was a really hard fought match today. It was very difficult. And up to everybody across the pond and around the world. I got a seltzer, I'll crack, and cheers. But just a really hard game. First of all, the team sheet comes out, and I'm thinking, he's giving the younger players a little bit of a chance. Solomon, James, and specifically those two, and Perot are more senior level players. They're nothing to be said against them, but he's giving them a break. He's offering Joseph an opportunity at the to start. He's offering Ramazani an opportunity to start, and he's offering Nanto, who has Premier League experience but is still very young, an opportunity to start, even in the face after a win against Stoke, a foggy, cold night at Stoke. And I just think those three were in a tough position. I don't want to blame them right now. I don't think, if I'm Aaronson and I'm playing with three new players around me, I'm a little, I'm up for the task, but that was the concern a little bit for me. Is that Aaronson's playing and the chemistry isn't really right. But, I don't think those players were up to the task to necessarily fully understand how physical a match this would be and how much of a cup final it would be for them today. And that was the most difficult away match, I think, since Sunderland in terms of the crowd. I mean, what do you think of the crowd? They were very, very lively, and it was a cup final away. Now, remember the 2 goals that we scored when we hosted Derby, and now we've just done the double over them. So cheers to that as well. 2 defenders scored. Let's hear from Melier. What say you? And then we'll hear from Nat Phillips.
Ilan, your 200th appearance for Leeds United, you will have been determined not to let a goal go in tonight, and it didn't happen. You did that.
Yeah. It was a tough game, to be honest. And, at the end, it's a win and a clean sheet. We increased also the lead at the table, so it's a very good day.
It was a tough old game, wasn't it? Because chances were created and missed. So you're waiting for the big moment.
Yeah. To be honest, it was a little bit frustrating, to see all the chances that we missed. But at the end, the goal came, and the most important is the win. Very happy also for Brendan, who could score. So yeah, I'm very happy for Brendan and very proud of the team today.
I think in the first half you had nothing to do. Defense was really good, apart from one cross come shot. Second half you made a couple of good saves.
Yeah, we control almost 40 minutes in the first half. Just one crosses who could be a little bit dangerous. But yeah, to be honest, we are it's not only the defense, it's all the block who is working very well. Good pressing, counter press. So yeah, of course, sometimes it's good if I make save, but sometimes you don't make. But you have to be ready to make the one.
Did you take any notice of what was happening?
Yeah, he did have that one, right? He had that one save. I believe it was a header by Nat Phillips and another defender that got. It was headed towards goal. Strong hand for Melier. No complaints. Distribution was fine. There was a chance that he had to save a goal. He was probably worked twice or so. We'll really get beyond it. He's been a passenger, but a clean sheet is a clean sheet is a clean sheet. I think he's still vital in build up. And the lad is 24, I believe now, 23, something like that. and a lot of first team starting experience. He came to us when he was 19. Now look at him. He looks like he's 40. Leeds United football will do that to you.
I think earlier on this afternoon, we knew Sheffield United ended up drawing their game at home.
Yeah. I just saw that Sheffield draw, but I didn't know about Stoke and Sunderland. But to be honest, doesn't matter. We just have focus on ourselves. Is the most important. Don't expect the other to do the job for you. Just do your job, and you will see at the end.
There were 2 difficult-looking away games, these, and you've come through. You haven't conceded a goal. You've ended up with 6 points. Sets things up nicely for that next game, doesn't it?
Yeah. And just remember, last season it wasn't the case. We lost twice, and this season, I knew that if you arrive to finish, the 26th and the 29th December with 2 wins, you will improve a lot in the table, and it's what we have done today. So many compliment to the team, because when you compare with the last season, it's a good improvement. So I'm very proud of that.
Quiet night, New Year's Eve for everybody.
Just to say yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Straightforward
Let's go,
answer.
yes.
It's not a trick question.
No.
Bed early,
Absolutely, as always.
as always.
Yeah. Okay. Good of the PR team there to walk him through an appropriate answer. Hey Lee, good to see you. Hard game. As always, a hard game at the baseball. I'm not sure what that's referencing. Oh, sorry, they call it Pride Park. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. They call a lot of parks around here in the United States. They call them ballparks. I guess that's what you're saying. Andrew McGowan says, hi, Alex. Great goal finished by the American. All 3 points. A little bit of a gap showing. Yeah, I mean, Aaronson was, dare I say, the man of the match. A lot of people were not fancying him, at least in the chat that I was on, calling for, I thought he was slipping in Mateo Joseph. Well, it was a difficult game. I really wasn't, I didn't blame the 3 players that came in. I thought they did okay. It was just a very physical match. They weren't really, they had chances, half chances, a lot of the chances that you saw. I mean, Mateo Joseph was in on goal, one-on-one with the keeper. He needed to do better. That was a situation. I think Aaronson and Nanto had some shots at goal, but they were deflected. So I'm not really, there was some good defending, I will say, kill me, but there was some good defending by Derby. Again, when I reflect on Derby's, when we won, none of the front 4 scored at Ellen Road. It was 2 defenders that scored that sealed that victory. So this was a team where it was a cup final. It was away. It was difficult. This was a game where I was probably 30 or 40 minutes into the match saying, I'll take a draw. I just didn't want to lose that match. Difficult, hostile environment. Mind the time to mind the gap. Oh, God. Chris says, good confidence for the win team and for the players like Aaronson. Yeah, Aaronson, right? So if you listen to Gier's been saying, he now has surpassed goals against Jorginho Rutter. Look, I take that a little bit with a grain of salt. If we were to swap Aaronson with Jorginho, I think most people would take that swap at this point. Jorginho does still have the quality on the ball, even though he didn't have a high goal tally last year. There's a reason why Jorginho is playing in the Premier League and Aaronson is playing in the Championship. We'll see. We'll see if that continues. But I think I got a clip of the goal. I want to take a look at that. Let's listen to Nat Phillips, a player that we were targeting for against Liverpool. And Joe said on his stream, Nat Phillips will head your mother, to give you a little bit of an insight how good he is in the air. But here's Nat Phillips on BBC Radio Derby.
I think, especially in the second half or after the first 15 minutes, first 15 were a little bit all over the place. Need to sort of reorganise and sort of get our shape together. And once we did that and we went after them, I felt like we took the game to them, and it was a good battle. Both sides had a real good go.
The second half of the match, it did seem like Derby were trying to play more expansive. It was more difficult for us to get a foot on the ball. And it did need that refreshing of the substitutes, the cool heads, the Solomon, Perot, and James to come in to be a little bit more calmer on the ball in the final third.
But yeah, like you say, it's just really frustrating to concede a losing goal at the end there.
Talk to us about the first 10 minutes, because they came out with some fury. It looked like you were communicating a lot out there. What are the sort of messages you're getting across to the other players, and how focused do you have to be in those moments to weather it?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of movement and a lot of runs from their side. So, like you say, it requires a lot of communication from us to make sure that runners aren't lost and everyone's doing the job. And like I say, after the first 10 or 15 minutes, I felt like we got to grips with that a bit better. We kind of adjusted and swung our shape around to the left a little bit and got a bit tighter, which meant that we could deal with that better. And once we did that, we were far more competitive. And then it felt like we were always in the game and could have scored a winner, it felt, in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with most of that. I think that they, the first 10, I would even say 15 or so, that we were dangerous. We were putting in crosses. We couldn't really get in on it. Joseph couldn't get a foot to it. Yeah. And then besides that, there was a couple of more chances. There was a lot of shots on goal, but it took that moment of Byram kind of stopping the ball for a second to set up a kind of 1-2 with Solomon, Perot, and then to Aaronson. But yeah, I mean, I'm fairly happy with the result. Well, I'm very happy with the result, and I'll share my Twitter. I've been kind of retweeting some interesting stats. That was obviously the lineup. We went over that. LUFC data says Daniel Farke's championship record as Leeds United manager: 70 matches, won 72, drawn 15, lost 13, 125 goals, conceded 58, clean sheets 33, points won 141, points per game, a little over 2 points per game, win rate 60%. So seeing stats like this are frustrating because it's like, why are we in the championship? It's like we've been dominating this league for so long. Daniel Farke describes Brendan Aaronson's finish as the goal of the season and a lovely team move. I would agree with that. Certainly that last part. I don't know about the goal of the season, but a lovely team move. A difficult away match. Leeds United championship in December. 2-0 over Derby, of course, to start the month. 3-1 over Borough. 1-1 to Preston. 4-0 to Oxford. That was a complete domination. 2-0 to Stoke and the 1-0 to Derby. Daniel Farke's side has been in top form just about right before the flip of the calendar. And here's the goal. We'll break this down. It's just this little movement here that you see when it goes out to Byram, and I think did Aaronson start this? No, it's is it Rodon? No, that's Ampadu. Ampadu starts this over. Now he signals, he makes a little signal to Solomon maybe that he's going to continue his run over there. And Solomon, I think, sees it, but he's one-on-one here when he receives the ball back to goal. Lovely little turn to face the defender. Aaronson starts to he sees the space, right? And he's already got a step on his man that he's being marked by.
United.
And see, right before this, when the ball goes to Perot, the other center back here could come up and step into Aaronson. If the ball is just played right here, I think into Aaronson from Solomon, I think it's a 50-50 proposition whether Aaronson scores. But the fact when he passes this ball to Perot, when he passes this ball to Perot, it sucks both defenders up. Now Aaronson's got a free. He's basically in on goal. And I'll tell you what, Perot is he doesn't move the quickest. He's not the man that's going to be pressing the ball, but in these tight little spaces, he is great to have. Some people call him the marksman, and he just puts this ball right into the path of Aaronson. And then Aaronson, it's all you at this point. Goalie comes out and slots it away. Beautiful goal. Beautiful team goal. Love the celebration. The subs are going wild. Gilavalgi's going nuts. The away crowd's going nuts. They're breaking stuff in the stands. In comes Ampadu, and you love to see it. The redemption arc continues for Brendan Aaronson this season, and long may it continue. The guy has not had a rest. People have been calling for a 10. I think there is a chance that we sign a 10, quite honestly, still. And there's something right there. We'll just look at right there. I don't know why, but I really love the fact that Byram stopped almost for a moment of composure, because it was very ping-pongy. It was very in the final third, it was not the final pass was missing, right? And this little signal for Byram to point to where he's going to go or what he sees, and the fact that he also stops the ball there to kind of give everybody a breath, and then it's on. Beautiful movement by Solomon, right? Great goal. Great team goal. A great team goal. I mean, no complaints. You know, how could you complain about that? Beautifully taken too by Aaronson. It's good to see him. It's good to see anybody just finish like that. And he can get up and celebrate. I mean, we could look at this all night, right? You'll be dreaming about this when you go to bed. So, anyways, let's see what else we got. Coverage on Paramount Plus has been fantastic here in the States. We've been getting some great EFL coverage. Where am I at? Let's go back to my profile if I got anything else interesting to share. And then we'll look at the tables and kind of get out of here. Forest in second. Can you believe that? I mean, over the past few weeks, Derby has beaten Portsmouth 4-0, West Brom 2-1, and drawn with Burnley at Turf Moor. LUFC limited the Rams to 0.18 XG and put up 2.16 of their own XG. That's classic. So we should have another goal at Pride Park tonight. Not the most emphatic scoreline of the festive period, but it feels the most significant. Absolutely. A very significant win. Again, it felt like a cup final. It felt like they're completely sold out. It was a very loud, any kind of poor touch by us. Hey, oh, it was, it felt like the most hostile environment that we've been in maybe this year, and certainly since Sunderland away. I think I read most of this out, but we'll just maybe look at it again. When Leeds United have scored the opening goal under Daniel Farke, and I've said this, everybody has been saying this lately. 37 matches, won 34, drawn 3, lost 0, goals 85, conceded 11, clean sheets 28, points 105 out of 11. If we score first, we win. If we concede, it becomes more of a 50-50 proposition, because they'll time waste, they'll milk every little second out of that one goal, and we might score one. It's just, and then it's 2 blocks of 5. It's just garbage football. But yeah, when we score first, we win. The other team will eventually has to come out to get anything from the match, and we put them away. And we'll see. Derby certainly were not happy with the draw tonight. Derby wanted to win that match, and maybe that's the reason why we won. They didn't necessarily install a block to get a draw. Little Sam Byram stuff, but let's see here. No, it's transferring me to other things. The Twitter algorithm. Farkas felt his side were much more in front today from the start than at Stoke. Missed chances in the second half. The beautiful team goal of the season belongs in my poetry album. Daniel Farka, well, belongs in my poetry album. Here's the
Right. Get in! Come on. Yes.
And there he is, the player of the match. Well, I'll tell you what, everybody smiles after a win, so that's excellent. Let's look at some of the match scores, and we'll get out of here. Maybe I'll check in on some of your comments. Thanks for everybody for joining me. Smash the like if you can. So 1-0 over Derby County, the Rams. A little bit of American accent there. Aaronson in 79th minute goal. Shots 17 by Leeds United. Four shots to Derby. One shot on target. And that shot on target, Melier saved. Strong hand there against the header of Nat Phillips. 39% possession for the Rams, 61% to Leeds United. 439 passes, 278 passes by Derby. Our pass accuracy was up at 80%. The only other stat that I think is interesting is corners. We had 9 corners, only 2 by the Rams. Big win. We have a little bit of luck because Sheffield United dropped points. Burnley currently tied, and Sunderland dropped points. Let me see if we can see the table standings. Win, draw, win. Our last 5. We sit on 51 points. Sheffield United sit on 49 points. Burnley currently drawing against Borough. And maybe we'll take a peek at that game. Sunderland, I believe, dropping point. Did they lose? Yeah, they lost to Stoke today. And I thought because they played us and we had so much possession, they would be used to kind of playing the game that they played. And it was at home, I believe. Could be wrong there, but I thought Stoke had a good chance to pick up some points against Sunderland. Let's take a peek at Burnley. 53rd minute against Borough. Do we have any match stats? Currently sitting at a 28% win percentage for both of them. Greatest outcome is a draw. Burnley have 56% possession, which is interesting to me just because Borough do like to play with the ball. So we can go sit back, relax, and maybe enjoy this one. Root for Borough. Is Aileen playing? I don't even know. I can't. Does it say the lineups here? Let me see here. No, Aileen's not playing. But we can sit back and enjoy this one. Root for Borough. And that's it, folks. Let me see. Let's take a peek at the upcoming matches for the Whites as we look ahead a little bit at the calendar, and then we'll dig into some of your comments. Blackburn will be a tough one. New Year's Day, Hull City. Blackburn have played with some moxie. I think that they're not going to be an easy game, but it's at home. Ellen Road is a fortress. away at Hull City Saturday, January the 4th, and then a cup game against Harrogate Town, and a little bit of a break. And we play Sheffield Wednesday at home, but will be a Yorkshire derby. Norwich after that, Burnley after that, to finish out January. You know, we should comfortably continue to pick up points. So we'll see. We're not done yet. We've been here before, right? That's the whole thing. We've seen this movie before. We've been here. We want to continue to pick up points and get out of sight, get out of this league. It's so important. And you're seeing kind of 3 up, 3 down, at least in terms of the Premier League. You know, it'll be probably, Southampton are pinned for relegation. Ipswich are struggling. And then Leicester City trying to put their best foot forward, but I don't think they're going to do much. Let's see here. Patty says Solomon has to start moving forward. Yeah, I agree with that. He's been skipping around the park quite easily. So good. Feel bad for Joseph, but he's not finishing chances. Yeah, he looked rusty. I mean, I thought his movement was great, but you've got to put the ball in the back of the net. So it'll be interesting to see what we do with our strikers, specifically with Bamford and Joffe. I'd almost probably rate Bamford above Joseph at this point. There's something. I mean, Joseph's got the legs, but Bamford had a chance at the end of the game as well. How do we get Rothwell back in the side, says Patty. You know, I think the other reason why I think he went with Tanaka today was Tanaka is more, he likes Tanaka's holding ability, on-ball ability. So he went with a very safe back 6, right? So back the partnership, of course, of Rodon and Stroke, Byram, the more defensive fullback, and then Bogle, who has been playing well, but loves to get forward and been putting in shifts. And then I think he went with a more conservative partnership of Ampadu and Tanaka, even though I think Tanaka has ability to get forward. That's not really what he's been asked to do thus far. I think you will see Rothwell. I think you'll see a rotation of Rothwell and Tanaka most of the season. The subs were massive, made a massive differences, Ronnie. I agree. I just thought that I wanted to see that. I got excited when the team sheet came out, but the best way I could say is he went with the younger group of attacking players. And for whatever reason, it just didn't work. Nanto popped up all over the pitch at times. He was taking the ball off. He was on the right side. He was on the left side. He was playing the center. But it didn't work. It just didn't work. And I think his passing, his touch was off. So give it to the more experienced players to me in my mind. And that's Solomon, James, and Perot. Alex, Brendan Sure turning up this season. Well, it's good to see. He's got a lot on the line in terms of his football, right? If he plays well, he will get paid this season, whether it's in the championship or, well, he's getting paid. Well, you could probably make the argument he's getting paid. But if he has a poor season, he's peaked early. But if he has a brighter season, he wants to be playing in Europe's top 5 leagues. He wants to probably be playing in the Premier League, where everybody wants to be playing. The way he breaks the lines could use him in the midfield 3. I agree with this. He regularly gets into goal-scoring positions. I thought he does. He's I think he's a second wave of attack in many ways, but he also has been slipping players in. Subs made a difference, says Michael. Happy for Brendan. Come on, Leeds, says Liam. What a goal, says David. It was fantastic. Great day. Perfect day for Leeds United. If you ain't first, you're last. Amen. Gulf Coast, Florida man. Good to see you. Cheers to you. Smash the like as we get out and up the whites. We're in first place. The thing that I take into account too for Daniel Farka is he said, I prefer to lead from the front. Well, we went top against Stoke. We're tied on points. The goal difference made us right top of the league. Can you continue it? This was a big game for me to say, can you, put your money where your mouth is, Daniel Farka. Can you continue to lead from the front? That's what you said you wanted to do. And they did it. Clean sheet too. Love it. Love it. One shot on goal. That's what I want to see. I want to see 1 to 2 shots on goal max. And if they don't score, we will win. See you guys next time. If I don't, Happy New Year. On to 2025, up the Whites. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.